This is an interactive method I use to encourage and ensure that all students are reading, writing, speaking, and listening about music. It's a tag team process where one student will give a thought or idea about the subject at hand or connect another student's thought to theirs. The session happens to be about what students have learned in Music Composition 1 and how it contributes to becoming and being a whole musician. Okay, this is our last tag team session of writing and speaking about music for the year. And we are going to talk about how music composition helps you as a whole musician. You've got your notes, your talking points. Just as a reminder, we are looking for quality academic language. So if you know you're starting off with an and a yeah, or a so, you know exactly what to do with that. Here we go. Demetrius.
Learning how to read and write music has taught me to create catchier melodies easier.
Technology and researching different types of music gives us a new world to create our own music, and we are exposed to different cultures to incorporate in compositions we create.
As a new composer, I would have never thought I'd be working with an amazing program, making amazing music, and being able to fix my little things in the computer when I'm making melodies. It's opened my mind to new music.
I'm going to connect with that because what blows me away is that I see how incredibly creative you all are as people, and I'm wondering if anyone has this connection as to, did you realize how creative you were prior to this class or not? I'm just curious, but that made me connect to the creativity aspect.
Yeah, to your connection.
Great.
I didn't find myself creative before this class because I never really had a way to express myself, and then after this class I found that music is my creative medium, and that because I can't write or draw, but I can make music.
Okay, before I joined this class, I didn't oh, do I have to use this? Okay. I didn't do music. I just listened to it, and I didn't realize that I can actually create my own music. That I can use the GarageBand thing, and it helps me make my own music that I never thought I could actually create. Do you have to stick this out?
As a composer, I never thought that I would know how to read or write music, let alone write a own piece by myself. And with the help of GarageBand, it really helps.
Composing music has taught me how important music is in everyday life, and what big a job that we as composers can bring to it.
Okay, connection to that. Everyday life. You guys are the consumers of music. Everyday life. Is there a moment where you're not thinking about a song or you don't have a song in your brain? So, as the consumers of music every day, what does it feel like now to be a part of that process that you can compose? And I
have a connection to that. As a whole musician, I am privileged to see the world through music's eyes, and I get to listen to all the sounds as instruments in music that could be used potentially in a piece.
Prior to this class, I've had ideas for music, but I've been unable to put them out into the world. So this class with GarageBand has let me actually make the pieces I've been thinking about.
The music I listened to as a child influenced who I am as a composer today, and going through this class helps me create the music I really want to create the right way.
Technology in this class has allowed me to get inspiration from other music we learn about, and this has made me a more whole musician.
GarageBand has made me realize that instruments aren't as complicated as I thought they were, because you can create music with a keyboard as you could play a piano as you could play a trumpet or violin or anything else. So it made me realize that everything is really the same, they just work differently.
As a composer, I've not only learned how to read and write music, I've also learned how to read and write about music and speak about music to connect to this modern world with all the technology.
Okay, so if you can read or write about something, is it as important as reading or writing the actual subject matter? And then how does that makes me think of like how will you apply this in other subject matter in your classes. So if you want to connect to that or go to your own points.
As an acoustic guitarist, before I took this class, I didn't really know a lot about melody. And after I took this class and learned about melody, I know how to make a more catchy melody, and that's very important as a guitarist.
I became a whole musician when I learned how to compose music with different instruments from different genres and be able to blend them together.
I've been able to grow as a whole musician creatively with GarageBand, experimenting with different genres.
I took piano classes when I was in 6th grade, and I never felt like I was really achieving anything, but I realized that I didn't really know much about music, so when I took this class, I learned how to become a whole musician and actually apply what I learned in this class to the piano.
I've grown as a composer from listening to other people's pieces and gaining different ideas and aspects on how to create music.
This class has helped me compose with feeling along with theory, which I didn't think was possible before, and now my final piece, actually uses both theory and feeling.
Okay, so I'm going to connect that because I think we don't realize that it's good to know a little bit of music theory so you know how to evoke the emotions that you want other people to feel. Not that you want to tell them what to feel, but how do you use those elements of music to get the most emotion?
This class has taught me how to speak about music because I've gained more musical vocabulary because I played an instrument but I wasn't exactly sure how to talk about it at first, and after this class I know how to.
In this class, when I listen to music, I used to not understand what the songs were doing, but when I listened in closer, I could hear the key elements that were in there, and I've started using